What's happening, folks? We're back with the next installment in our playthrough of Simon's Quest. And yeah, I think I mentioned it was in a different gaming playthrough, so maybe folks who've only been following this one won't recall. But I was saying that when I came back to this, I gotta figure out exactly what to do. I tried to freestyle at the end of the previous playthrough. You know, I beat the castle, or the mansion where we have to go by, I don't know, it's like that it's essentially death. You know, it's the Grim Reaper, and you can I learned that you can just sort of like run past him. And I forget what body part of Dracula we got, but then I thought I could go to that graveyard and, you know, kneel with the red crystal and it would bring a tornado, but I don't think it's that time of the game yet. So I need to figure out exactly where I should go and what I have to do before that infamous part, which I say because it's like this famously cryptic task that you have to do in this game that, again, back in the 80s when people were playing this, and, you know, before the days of the internet, before the days of, you know, full-on strategy guides, I don't understand how your common, even like pretty good player of role-playing games, or, you know, this is kind of like an action game meets a role-playing game, but I don't understand how people were supposed to figure that out. So yeah, back when I was a kid playing this game, I don't even think I ever got that far. I think I'm farther now in the game than I ever got on my own, or at the very least, it was right around this place, and I never figured out what you were supposed to do in that regard. So, yeah, it's kind of this legendary thing online. But apparently, before I do that, I've got to figure out where to go. So, let's load... Is it the same time? Okay, so again, I don't remember exactly what comes next. I suppose I should have my phone next to me in case, or not in case, for when I need to consult that walkthrough that I was looking at before. Though even then, again, as I think I mentioned in whatever other playthrough that was it, I think it was Super Mario World. I think it was my final Super Mario World playthrough. Even when I was looking at the walkthrough last time, there was a bit of ambiguity, because it sort of says like, oh, go this way and go past the woods and you'll get to this town, which, like, yeah, I mean, functionally, that I'm sure that's true, but it doesn't, you know, sometimes there's ambiguity about, you know, do I take the high road or the low road or whatever it is. So yeah, give me a moment, I'm gonna grab my phone so I can keep it handy and we can try to figure out what I'm supposed to do. I do think I need more laurels. I remember there was a suggestion that I need to get like that sack. It's like basically a bag from someone in the graveyard, and that allows me to carry more laurels and or garlic than I would be able to just with my hands, so to speak. So yeah, give me a moment, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and Luca has come to quote-unquote help. We'll see how that goes, but let me... try to figure out... Did I even bookmark it? I'm not even sure I bookmarked it in my phone. Okay, I did. Alright, so... Okay, the Dead River alternate, I did that last time. The Jam Wasteland. Okay, so... Luca, you gotta jump down. The Jam Wasteland, introduction to several strong enemies. Chain Whip, you're generally no more difficult, blah blah blah. Proceed to the left of the area and you reach the cliff. Okay, I did get there, right? Talk with him. a cloaked man at location A. Talk with him, and he will bestow upon you the diamond. Okay, so I already did that, apparently. Odd weapon can come in handy in contained locations. Collected the diamond. It's time to return to Brahm Mansion and collect the part of Dracula contained within. Is that the one that I already did? Oh, it is. Death can be somewhat challenging. However, it's not mandatory to defeat him. If you don't want it, just walk under him. Okay, so that's what I did. Okay, so break the crystal ball, get the Dracula's eyeball. I did get that, right? Yeah, that's Dracula's eyeball. Generally speaking, the rib is more practical, right? Because it gives me the shield. Oh. It says I should have bought another oak stake from the guy who sells them there so I could save time in later mansions. That would have been smart, but I didn't read that far ahead. But okay, return to the top of the main area. You can leave, blah, blah, blah. Bodley Mansion. The next place or the next destination is Bodley Mansion. Look at, get out of there. God, I swear, once I put the headphones on and get the microphone in front of me, it's like she knows, like, ha, his range of motion is limited, and now I can do all the mischievous things I'd like to do. But okay, so, yeah, it's telling me I gotta go to Bodley Mansion. I gotta go to Aldera. I think we're in Aldera right now. Okay, if you arrive at nighttime, don't wait for... Oh, proceed to Shorigoi Graveyard and return here when you're finished. Okay, but yeah, it's saying I gotta go to this graveyard. Okay, so... So I want to go first to the Sodom Woods. Let me find out. There's the... Okay, so I want to go left to the Sodom Woods. And let me just make sure I've got what I'm supposed to do. Can't be whipped if they're on the ground, blah blah blah. Talking about slimes, the bone dragons. Bro, I played bass for the bone dragons. So I got the red crystal already. Right. Next screen, I'll see skeletons and Kagadume. Past splits here. Beyond Sodom Woods is the next town of Ondol. However, the lower path leads to the Storagoi Graveyard, which is worth investigating first. Descend the stairs, but toss out holy water as you walk along the platforms to discover false floors. I mean, I tell you, this game, these false floors... Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh. So those are the... What would, like, I don't even remember the name because I don't have the phone out, but I guess those skeleton-like things are what they were talking about, because it was saying they attack like skeletons, but they're faster. Oh, there you go. Son of a bitch. So, can I jump over? This is a dirty game, I'll tell you that. Ugh. Those slimes are dirty as well. Oh my god, you gotta chill. Alright, I'm waiting here. Well, there's no enemies until it's daytime, because I think the guy that I need to talk to or something is in daytime. Let me... Okay, so the graveyard... Okay, when you reach the left end of the graveyard, where you can proceed no further, drop a clove of garlic, and an old man will appear. Alright. Thank you, sir. Once you have it, retrace your steps and return to the Sodom Woods. In order to return to the upper path, you'll have to use a laurel to get through the marsh. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll get a save here. Just gonna split it into a few different saves. Okay. Oh my god, this is a nightmare. Go away! The little back and forth thing they do, it's like they're heat seeking. Either that or they have a very erratic walking pattern. Damn you, game. I don't care about the hearts, just let me go. Okay. Like I said, I'm okay with the hearts being lost, but now we gotta figure out what to do. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Well, that's alright. I guess it's daytime, but basically I was supposed to go this way again, but take the upper path. God. These slimes are like the worst enemies in the game. And I probably don't have enough to buy anything. Oh, shit. As soon as I did it, I realized that was a problem. Well, I can't yet, but alright, that's the next goal, to stand outside, fight the town ghouls at night, and buy some laurels. And probably I can buy more than, now that I have that bag. Here's my question, is there a church in this town? Hello. What do you have for me, sir? Oh my god. Alright, well, yeah, I mentioned this again in that Super Mario World playthrough, that I might not even fight the next mansion when I finally got back around to Simon's Quest. So before I go anywhere, I'm going to be getting more laurels and a Morning Star, because a Morning Star I think is like the best whip. It's like, it's essentially one of those maces, like it's a whip, but it has a spiked ball on the end. Yeah, and I'll also always have a friend named Ronald McDonald, I believe. Please tell me there's a church up here. I mean, I can believe it, but it sounds like a glory story. I don't think that's accurate. I was already given a diamond, and that's not how I got it. If you know what I'm saying. I like that guy had a moment of indecision. Do I walk left on this platform? Right? Left? Well, I guess I'll do both. Alright, it's time for nighttime, people. Actually, let me talk to this shepherd man first. This guy's out here doing a stand-up bit. This is the Morning Star dude, right? Yeah, okay. I thought you could land on that. Right. Alright, so 250 hearts at least, maybe 300 so I can get more than just a single set of laurels. You know, some hearts would be nice, people. I mean, what the hell? How the hell did you do that? I know you're a ghoul, but how did you go through the stairs? I've noticed a particularly stingy ratio of hearts to no hearts game. What's happening here? For real, though. I think I'll save up for the Morning Star first, because that'll make getting money or hearts for the laurels even easier. Because I imagine with that, these ghouls will take one hit. As long as I don't have to fight more of those slimes. I mean, the erratic movement, the variable jump height, the persistence in following you, those slimes are smarter than any other enemies I've faced, and more physically capable. That heart better still be there, game. You bastard. Well, I guess we'll sit here and just kind of wait out the day. I mean, Simon deserves a break. I wish I could, like, sit down. It's not quite sitting down, but I guess that'll do. But yeah, again, I think this game has great atmosphere. The fighting mechanics, minus the one annoying thing of getting knocked back when you get hit, which inevitably leads to deaths where you fall off a platform, not because you chose to walk off it, but because you get hit backward. Much more common than they should be. But yeah, with that little annoyance aside, I think the gameplay is great, the music is great. It's just, as I said, that over expectation of gamers' puzzle solving and or ability to just figure out tricks, like, again, holes in floors where it's like, I mean, game, you said it was the floor, and now you're saying the floor, you know, somehow isn't actually there. It's like, I get it, it's supposed to be a trap or, you know, some sort of black magic by the forces of Dracula, but yeah, like, I think this game was too cryptic for the era it came in. Now, again, in the modern era, where you can look things up on the internet, you can watch people play parts of the level on YouTube and so on, which I guess I'm sort of like referencing myself here, but, you know, people who do this full-time and, you know, people who stream for hours and hours almost daily, like, we now live in an era where a game like this, I think, is not unreasonable. But yeah, back in the 80s, and, you know, when I was playing this, I was like a single-digit kid, I think it expected too much from the gamer, and I won't even say casual gamer, because again, I was a serious gamer, you know, in terms of like, I played video games a lot when I was a kid, and, you know, I could beat some games that other friends of mine couldn't beat, but still, it's the nature of information in this game, which that's another thing. Like, my understanding is the original Japanese, the townspeople said things that were, number one, more helpful, and number two, accurate, which is to say, for whatever reason, when they did translations for the release of this game into the North American market, there's things that people say that are just dead wrong and, you know, entirely misleading, as well as things where it's like, I don't even know what you're talking about, like, don't stare into the Death Star or you'll die. It's like, the Death Star, like, what are you talking about? So it's cool to play it now and to, you know, have information available online so that I can complete what was always an incomplete playthrough from my youth, which is, of course, why we're here. Eventually, I will do a playthrough of the first Castlevania, because I played that, though as I think I mentioned, I played it after I had played this one, because this is one that I happened to get, whereas I never owned the original Castlevania. I like played it later. I think a friend had it, maybe I rented it. And that one is a more linear platformer. You just, you know, go level to level, excuse me, and you beat the the various stages without having to solve cryptic puzzles. It's, you know, just a test of endurance and precision jumping and so on. Nevertheless, as I said, I enjoy what they did with this game. I just think they went a little overboard with some of the requirements. And as I said, none more so than what we'll see, I think, in the not-too-distant future. Probably not in this playthrough, but in maybe the next playthrough or the one after that, where you have to, like, kneel by this wall with the red crystal equipped for, like, I don't know, it's like a minute and a half, or 30 seconds at least. And then this twister, a tornado, comes and picks you up and takes you to the next part of the game, which, like, how were kids supposed to figure that out? I mean, honestly, without someone literally just telling you in a town, hey, equip the red crystal, stand by this wall, and it'll take you, you know, to where you need to go, which I do not believe happens in this original North American port. Though I do understand that in more recent times, you know, people who, like, code games and, you know, make ROMs for emulators and so on, my understanding is they've done like it's like a Simon's Quest Redux or something like that, and they fix a lot of dialogue and they make townspeople say things that are actually the hints that they should have been. So, yeah. I mean, again, when I did this playthrough, of course I was going to play the original, because that's the one that I knew back in the day, but I do believe you can get a ROM out there for a version of this game which has been fixed and, like, updated to be more fair to the player. For those of you curious out there. I don't remember if it's called Simon's Quest Redux, but I think it's something like that. Getting there, getting there. I should honestly charge this town a fee. It's like, look, I'm making the platform safe to walk at night, so can I get like a weekly stipend for my ghost or ghoul eradicating activities? That would seem fair. They're like, yeah, but you're leaving broken glass around everywhere, so... Gotta get my cardio in. Right, and then a guy in big red shoes will come looking for me. I mean, is he paranoid? Is he worried someone's following him? Is he practicing his dance moves? What's happening? Simon Belmont trying to keep with the rhythm. As I think I mentioned before also, like, my understanding is that beating this game in a different number of days gives you different endings, though I think they kind of messed it up. Like, I remember seeing something online that, like, ideally, beating it the quickest should give you the best ending, but I don't think it's... I think they sort of switched which ending, like, because in one ending, spoiler alert, Simon dies from his wounds, and another one he doesn't die, and then in a third one... I think there's like 3 different endings, but because, you know, I've been kind of doing it at my own pace and, you know, sort of sticking around to fight more enemies at night in the towns rather than risking going out and trying to be a bit quicker about getting hearts, I think I'll get the ending which happens once you cross like a certain second threshold of time, but in practice, I don't think that'll be the worst ending, so either way, I'm not worried about it. As long as I can beat it on one level, you know, like, beat it at all, I'm happy no matter what ending I get. But, yeah, my understanding is that if you beat it, it's something like within 8 days you get a certain ending. If you beat it in, like, 2 or 3 more days after that, you get another ending. And then if you beat it beyond, like, a dozen days or something, you get the third ending, which is clearly the one we'll be getting. Whoop. I was looking away from the screen. I almost got hit because of you, Luca. I don't think she's worried about it. 200, okay. Morning Star, here we come. Once that morning sun is up, we get a Morning Star. Which feels like a tautology, but it's actually not. Now suddenly the game's being a lot more generous with hearts. I'm pleased, though I still don't understand the standard or the lack of consistency. I have to say, Simon's walking gait is very ice skating. He kind of shuffles. We got Morningstar and Laurels. Though, as I said, I'm going to try to get, like, 2 different helpings of Laurels. It's annoying that the town doesn't have a church, though. Whoops. Alright, so the second one, the one where the floor is already gone, that's where the Morning Star is, right? Look at that, you can see the ball on the end, and I think it's even longer. I like how when I hover the mouse over the emulator, the ROM's like, hold on, you're freaking me out. Okay, now let's go get some Laurels. And we'll do like one more night of getting hearts. I'll get another set of Laurels. And then I think we'll save it for this one. But I know it was like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months since my last Simon's Quest playthrough. I'll make sure it's nowhere near as long when we come back for the next one. And in that one, you know, we'll actually go on to the next mansion. And by that time, I think we'll be getting close. Because look, it looks like there's only 2 more body parts of Dracula that I need. So, yeah, I think we're getting close to the end of the game. I just have to make sure I know everything I need before I, you know, get to that final playthrough. So, yeah, as I said, we'll do a little bit more, get some more hearts, get another set of Laurels, and then I think we'll save it for this one. And I'll try to come back, honestly, within like a week or so, and we'll do a more productive playthrough on the next installment. And again, shout out to all of you who are watching this playthrough and series more generally. Basically everyone listening to this right now. I do derive great joy from these playthroughs, and number one, they're nostalgic because, you know, I've been mainly playing games that were like really big in my youth, either as a single-digit kid or in my teens. And, you know, a couple of them, like the Russian Attack, you know, I never, like, beat that game, and, you know, I found it as frustrating back then as that, what was it, a 7-minute playthrough when I did that. But, yeah, for the most part, I'm playing games that I had a lot of fun with back in the day, most of which I beat, and then, as in the case here, I never beat. But also just because I think it's a fun outlet. It's, you know, I'm into retro things from the 80s and 90s, and I know a lot of people who follow my channel, whether for music or indeed for these gaming videos, you know, they feel similarly. So these gaming playthroughs bring me a lot of enjoyment, and the fact that there are at least a few people who feel the same way and follow along makes me very happy. So shout out to all of you. I'm gonna jump on your head, bro. Boom, right on your head. You shall not pass. That was my very weak and uninspired Gandalf impression. I should have followed it up with, "Fly, you fools." Cue the epic music by, who was it, Howard Shore? I'm trying to remember who did the soundtrack to Fellowship of the Ring. Look at that fantastic morning star. These ghouls don't know what's waiting for them. Oh yeah. I think I can carry 8 laurels. I think that's right. See if we can get 100. Probably won't happen on this night, but... And definitely I'll save before I buy a second time, just in case. It's like, nope, it didn't increase your quantity. Because that's the thing about old school games. Like, sometimes it wouldn't be like, oh, sorry, you can't carry anymore. It's like, it'll still let you buy it, but then it doesn't increase the total because you're already at the limit. It's like, thanks, game. And I suppose, you know, what is this, like 18th, maybe early 19th century Transylvania, I don't think the receipt and money-back guarantee principle was yet instituted. There was no proof of purchase barcode. God, the reach on this is so good. It's so long. We might get there. It'll be close, but... I mean, it's possible. Oh, one more. Excellent, excellent. Well, I don't know about horrible night. That was a very productive and helpful night, actually. I like this one. He's like behind 2 false walls. This guy is like really a black market laurel dealer. Okay, so we got 6. Let's get a game save just in case. God, my mouse is so annoying. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I think eventually, though, we're gonna have to get some more garlic, I believe. But alright, so we got a Morning Star, we got 8 laurels, which, you know, invincibility, 8 separate occasions, although it's like very quick. You know, what is it, like 8-10 seconds, something like that? But still, we're in a good place. And we got our gunny sack that allows us to carry additional items. And I know exactly now where we are in the walkthrough, so yeah, because as I said, when I beat the previous playthrough, I had tried to like go to that cemetery. I didn't quite know what I was doing, and I was worried that I'd like not be able to get back to where I was in the walkthrough without, you know, being confused, but that is no longer a worry. So okay, yeah, we're in a good spot, and as I said, when I come back for the next playthrough, which I'll make sure is within a week or so, like, you know, at the most like 10 days or something, I will do a more productive playthrough. I'll try to at least beat the next mansion and see what we can do after that. So, as I said, thank you very much for being part of this. Let me know what you think, and obviously, you know, I had to be a bit more chatty in this playthrough because I wasn't really, you know, going anywhere interesting or doing anything of substance, but yeah, hopefully you enjoyed some of the commentary. In any case, let me know what you think, and I will see you very soon for the next installment. Peace!